What's going on, guys? Welcome. Nice to see you here. Great show for you today. We got some big news. Holy cow. We got China news. We got inflation news. A lot of big things happening in the markets. Markets are responding. Bitcoin and crypto have exploded, moved up slightly. I see some of you guys are like, it's not exploded, Lark. It's too bullish of a word. It's gone up slightly. Okay, anyway. Good things are happening in the markets. We got to talk about that. But taking a realistic view at everything here, guys, we're just shooting it straight, okay? What are the charts telling us? What are we actually seeing here? What's constructive? What's not constructive? What do we have to watch out for still? We got a lot to cover. Get straight into this. And, of course, answering your questions second half of the stream, so stick around for that good time. Let's go. So, Scott Bessent, the baller, says China is ready to make a trade deal. Great, Scott. Good stuff, man. Apparently, the two sides agreed to a framework that paves the way for a very productive meeting between President Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping this week. Additional 100% tariffs on China set to start November 1st is effectively off the table, so no 100% tariffs. Of course, there's not going to be an extra 100% tariffs. Obviously. All the details ironed out for the TikTok deal. Nice. Soybean farmers will feel very good with what's going on. Great. Thank God for the soybean. No, actually, soybean farmers are awesome. Farmers are awesome in general. But yeah, good. They're making a deal. They're always going to make a deal. Of course, they're going to make a deal. It's the Don, man. Going to go to China, talk to the Chinese guy, to make a deal. The best deal. Some people are going to call it the Trump deal. My Trump impression is terrible. Anyway, continuing. Inflation news came in really good too. So inflation expected was 3.1%. It came in at 3%, which is higher than 2.9% last month. But you have to keep it in mind that it came in cooler than expected, which is good. Markets liked that. Okay, between that and the prospect of a Chinese trade deal, good. We like that. Both core inflation and CPI year on year are both coming in cooler than expected. So this is good risk. Markets like it. We are looking at 2 more interest rate cuts in 2025. We have a meeting on Wednesday with the Fed. Trump and Xi are meeting on Thursday. It's going to be a big week, man. I would not be surprised with a little bit of sell the news into Friday's markets, but that's for later us in the week to worry about. Until then, let's enjoy the charts as they are. But good. I think there's a very, very high chance we get 2 rate cuts as well. Good. Cheaper money. Fantastic. Don't you have daylight savings time there, or are you early? It's the same time for me all the time, 3 o'clock, Dubai time. Check this one out. It's interesting. S&P 500 monthly returns. Okay. This is going back like a very long time. This was the last couple of years. We can see sort of the average here. Novembers are good. Market likes Novembers. Okay. Novembers are usually one of the best months in the market. October is usually pretty good too. Believe it or not, if the price of Bitcoin were to end the month around here, we would end the month green for Bitcoin. You may not like that reality considering all the bullshit that's happened in October, but it would end the month green. That's crazy, man. S&P 500 futures absolutely ripping right now, up 0.89% in the futures. Going to be a green day in the stock markets. Crazy stuff. This is interesting as well. Super Trade says the NASDAQ is on track to be up 7 months in a row. Here's what the NASDAQ did next after similar strong rallies. With the exception of 1986. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 months. And 1 year later, markets were up significantly more. What's interesting is that a month later, they are often down. Now, November usually being a good month, maybe that bucks that trend, but we will get a red month at some point where the stock markets finish down a few percentage points. That's normal, man. It's normal. I sold my Pepe bag. You can always find my current portfolio updates down below in YouTube. Pin comment over on X. I don't have Pepe anymore. I'm trying to consolidate bags. Okay. Nope, clocks went back an hour yesterday morning. A lot of people different place. You know, the crazy thing about daylight savings time, little rant aside here. The crazy thing about daylight savings time, some countries don't do it, but for basically all the countries that do it, the majority of them do it all at different times of the year. Like I remember when I was in New Zealand, my dad, who lives in the States, he would have daylight savings time, let's say 3 weeks earlier than New Zealand would have it. So I'd have this 3-week gap of, you know, a different time. It's dumb. It's dumb. Daylight savings time is stupid. I think it needs to be ended. And anybody who disagrees with that hates freedom. There you go. Continuing. Anyway, long story short, markets like strength. Strength begets more strength. Rallies beget more rallies. There you go. Continuing. BTC, very constructive looking chart here. Nice move over the weekend. Now, the RSI, as we talked about last week, broke out first, didn't it? You often see this happen where the RSI takes out the control line first before a bigger move starts brewing up. So everybody wanted to get bearish as fuck right here at the 200-day EMA retest, okay? Now, we are not out of the woods. Crazy shit can still happen, blah, 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 right? There's your risk disclaimer. By the way, that portfolio disclosure, it's also got the risk disclaimer there. Okay, it's past performance, not equated to future performance. You can lose all your money in crypto, literally. Like, it's not a meme. That's real shit. Anyway, continuing. RSI broke out first, showing momentum started moving in the right direction. Over the weekend, we got the MACD bullish crossover, well below the zero line, which tends to be a more powerful indicator. Okay, good. Now, after bouncing off the 200-day EMA, which is critical price support bull bear line in the market, guess what? Last few days we ground up, and yesterday we took out the 20 and the 50-day EMA, yellow and blue lines on the chart, key shorter term moving averages. This is good. This is constructive. This is us moving in the right direction. Now, volume has not been crazy on this move. I would like to point that out right here, okay? Volume has not been crazy on this move, but Wall Street's opening up today. Let's see if Wall Street comes in and starts buying shit tons of Bitcoin today. That'll pump volumes up, okay? Let's watch out for that to happen or not. See how Wall Street reacts to Bitcoin throughout the week. We could see some good spot volume moving in that situation. So this is good. This is constructive. Now, key thing, we have to now defend the 20-day EMA. Retests are fine. Retests happen on any uptrend, but we have to defend the 20-day EMA. That's critical. So that's our current line in the sand to keep an eye out for. Price right now is around 112.5, let's say. Real quick, we've got a couple trades open here. We've got a Pengu trade. There's currently $17 in profit. Not doing super fantastic at the moment. We'll talk about Pengu charts here in a minute. Solana trade, it's chilling. It's been there for a while. You guys know that. Bitcoin trade, currently in some nice profits here as well. I've moved the stop to basically break even. So worst case scenario, I don't lose anything. Best case scenario, we pump up and we make some money. So there you go. By the way, if you want to join me trading over in BitUnix, link down below. As always, great place to be your trading. You long, you short, trade spot altcoins, whatever you want to do. They got a crazy deposit bonus going on right now. It's a great offer to take advantage of. You put in $2,000, you get $400 back. 5,500, 10,700 bucks cash money back. Crazy trading bonuses here as well. Plus, we're giving away $1,000 every live stream. Today's a live stream. Here is the spreadsheet of different people. So, what do we got here? Grok thought about for almost 3 minutes. We got our winners here. Just plug those in real quick. This guy here put in 350 bucks. Guess what? You get 500 bucks back. Congratulations. 268263194. Course sharing user IDs, not email addresses. Preserve one's privacy. You have to go check that out. Within the next 24 hours, you will have your deposit bonus in your account. You have to claim it in your My Rewards Center. Okay, just FYI. And this guy right here, there we go. 422817121 put in $1,000, which gets you back, I think, 200 bucks. You got your 200 bucks back already. That's pretty good. Got your, where is that? You got your 200 bucks back already. Plus, you get another 500 bucks on top of that today. Congratulations to today's winners. We'll be giving away more sweet money tomorrow. Bro, really? You sold your Pepe? You think Bitcoin will pump your bags? Look, to be clear, I have not taken major money out of the altcoin market in a little while. I did sell my Pepe, but I didn't sell it and leave the market. I sold it in order to consolidate it into other bags. That's was the key idea. I like Pepe as a meme still, but I have no problem re-entering. I have no problem trading it. It's all good either way, right? But yeah, I sold my Pepe, exited that position. I told you guys about when I did, but maybe it's we put out a shit ton of content. You can't catch it all, right? That's why I have the portfolio disclosures up so everyone know what's in Lark's bags. You can check. We update that every Saturday, by the way. Anyway, consolidate in other bags. I'm trying as much as possible. Keep things trimmed up, man. It's too easy to let things get out of hand in your portfolio. And I'm really trying to keep my portfolio much tighter right now with bigger, higher conviction bets. Okay. Continuing. Stable, still the strongest contender for the next bull run. Still probably at a pretty decent price right now, to be honest. I've been thinking about flipping my cake bag into potentially stable. Could be an interesting one. Because right now, of course, Binance ecosystem is not getting as much love as it was before, but could be good, especially the current price. Anyway, love Pepe, man. Love Pepe. Love the Pepe community. Don't get me wrong, man. It's not because I woke up one day, it's like, Pepe sucks, man. I woke up and it's like, I need to have fewer bags, Lark. Gotta have fewer bags. It's too crazy. So there you go. Anyway, continuing. Crypto Jeb, in response to Trump saying Bitcoin and crypto will skyrocket like never before. Bitcoin and crypto will skyrocket like never before, beyond your expectations. They're going to call it the Trump pump. Yeah. I'm about to do something to manipulate the market higher. You should front run me, basically. The amount of money Trump and family have made from crypto, $1 billion plus. They love it, man. They love it. Lark, I saw your CBDC video the other day with some great insight on the geopolitical landscape. Thank you. Trying to bring out a little more of that stuff as well. You know, trying to find as much interesting and useful information as possible to bring to you guys. Sometimes we got to go back to the basics too of just why the hell are we doing all this anyway? This is interesting. I want to share this with you. What if you listened to Trump when he said buy back in April? Okay, think about this. If you'd put $1,000 into each of these assets, crypto outperformed everything. You may not feel like that with the recent market moves, but it's the truth. Look at this. Since Trump tweeted that, gold 36%, Bitcoin 55%, ETH 200%, Solana 100%, SPX, the SP 500 37%, the Russell 2000 45%, the NASDAQ 49%. Now, I know individual stocks like Irene Energy have run like 10x, but then so did some individual crypto coins. I mean, you could have full ported into Hyperliquid back during then as well and done incredibly well also. So there you go. Yeah. Interesting perspective, right? I know there's been a lot of pessimism recently on crypto, particularly because of the 1010 crash, but that's just some perspective for you. Josh Rager pointing out here, some of you might not be familiar with what a real bull market feels like. I can tell. Trust me on this. This is not it. We are still building. Anyone who's been around knows this. Wait for it. It will be worth it. This is true. This is true. Continuing. ETH. Don't have a lot to say about the ETH and Solana charts. We're going to just quickly look at them because I think it's quite interesting what's going on. Very similar to the Bitcoin charts. Came down, retested 200-day EMA, bounced off it. Price coiled up into this beautiful, just look at this. Look at that. That's just textbook, man. Textbook. And now we are breaking out to the upside. Price target of this triangle is around $5,000. Previous highs, by the way, just FYI. RSI broke out a couple of days in advance, the big move. We're now over the 20 and 50-day EMAs. It's been a little bit weaker than BTC on this move, in terms of structure of the move with the EMAs and stuff like that. So watch for $4,050 approximately to hold. That's where the 20-day EMA is right now. Momentum shifting to the upside of the MACD here as well. Solana looking at a pretty similar situation. Not quite as strong, not over the 50-day EMA yet, which is around $202. 20-day EMA breakout with the yellow line on the chart here. We can also see very much a nice coiling up of the price action here. Very unprofessional looking, but you get the idea. Okay, so now we're breaking out of that with the price gearing to run higher. So I think the target on that's around $250 or something like that. So Again, RSI broke out a few days in advance. MACD confirmed a few days later, defended the 200-day EMA here. It was Solana usually, I feel like, does this. When it comes down to retest EMAs and key areas of price support, it's real sloppy on the retests, man. Price is all over the place. But even though it's got more volatility in its moves, still is valid in the overall pattern. So that's interesting. Zcash. You know, it's funny because we were talking about Zcash back here. It's like, I'm not a buyer of Zcash here. Watch for it to pull back to $186 or something like that, which it did. Pull back to the 20-day EMA perfectly, may I say. I did not buy any. No, should have swapped out my cake bag or something like that. And like I said, I'm not putting new cash into the cryptocurrency market, or very, very little new cash into the cryptocurrency market. There's plenty of cash on the sideline, but I just, you know, the crypto bags are so big, I don't need to put more money into crypto, man. I'm buying more stocks over the weekend, actually. I know the buy orders have not gone through because the U.S. market's not open, but there's orders that'll go through in a few hours when the U.S. market's open. Anyway, what a move on Zcash, man. People are absolutely going bonkers for the Zcash right now. I was out here calling for $10,000, you know, Zcash or whatever, which is probably a little over optimistic, to be honest. But hey, you know what? You guys work that bag, man. You work that bag. I'll just cope from the sidelines. I watch it rage higher, apparently. But it's up 100% from the dip the other day, showing incredible strength right now. One to keep an eye on for sure. This dude right here, Maple Leaf Capital, interesting sneaky pumped update from fees.pump.fund. Don't think it's been picked up yet. So Pump Fund bought something called Padre. Padre revenue now goes to buying back Pump tokens as well, starting 2 days ago. Assuming they can pick that fee stream up, this could add like 5 to 10% to Pump's current fee system. Great, great. Pump has had a nice move back up above the 20-day EMA, finding resistance here at the 50-day EMA. I think this is the big line right here now for Pump, though, which is around 0.05557, something like that right now. Break that line right there. Holy cow, we're going to have a mega run on this thing. So, Lark, you seen what's going on with Clanker. I have not been looking at Clanker very much. It's, I know, like the Pump fun of base, but have not looked into it a lot. But, you know, maybe I should go spend a little more time there. It's tricky, man. There's so many things going on all these different chains. I mean, really, these days, all I do, aside from, you know, I guess holding Bitcoin's a use case. I use Bitcoin by holding it. But really, the only chains I use are main chain ETH, Base, Solana. I like Base. I haven't been using it as much recently, but maybe I should look at it. Yeah, I've been thinking about buying Avantis. Didn't buy Avantis. Like I've said before, if you really are like keen on Base, Aerodrome, Virtuals, Zora, and what's the other one? The fourth one escapes my brain right now. Oh, Avantis, that was it. Yeah, those are probably some pretty good bets on the future growth of the Base ecosystem. But yeah, I have not looked into Clanker yet, so I should. Dead Guy. Yeah, I bought Dead Guy yesterday at 7 in the morning. Sold it last night at midnight. I guess it's some random meme coin you guys went buying. Anyway, Pump chart's looking decent. I think this thing is going to absolutely run. The fact that somehow Cardano is worth more than this, the market is... I'm not wrong. The market's wrong, okay? Okay. Pengu. Penguin coin. We like the Penguin coin. Pengu teams up with DreamWorks, Kung Fu Panda to bring Pengu into the world of Po, Shifu, and Uguay. Cool. Great stuff. Now, Pengu has broken out of this descending wedge pattern here. Got the RSI breakout. We got the MACD flipping over, but we did just get rejected at the 20-day EMA. So it's obviously on the much more speculative side when it comes to the altcoin market. So the money has not flooded back into meme coins yet. I think in terms of a meme coin that's likely to get bid, I think Pengu really stands good potential for that. Hype has had an incredible run recently. So Hype's going to start bringing equity perp markets on. So that is really big, in my opinion. Look, we've had other exchanges do some stuff with stocks and whatnot over time, but for Hype, I think that's going to be really, really good, to be honest. So Lark, did you see the unicorn fart dust pump? Yeah, I have not. I did not watch that coin. It's not on my watch list. Don't really care about it. But if you guys are making money on it, more power to you, man. I celebrate your win. That's awesome. Anyway, Hyperliquid has been one of the most definitely humpy, powerful coins in the market. People absolutely effing love this thing. Came all the way back down to the low 30s throughout the crash period. Has bounced back super, super hard with an absolutely epic pump right back above the key EMAs, which is a good sign. As long as we hold up those key EMAs, this thing is on the run for another new uptrend. How high that takes the price, we shall see. But definitely good momentum heading the right direction. That's what you want to see here for Hyperliquid. Retests the 20-day EMA are probably long opportunities for bulls, okay? Aster, not doing so awesome. Revenue still good, but the buybacks are non-programmatic. So it doesn't have that short-term effect like we see with Hype, where it's programmatic buybacks, right? Whereas Aster is kind of like, yeah, we're going to collect fees and buy some stuff back. And to what extent that outweighs the massive airdrops that are coming in, I don't know. Don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Part of me thinks just exit the Binance ecosystem, take the money back over to Base, take the money back over to Solana, and just focus in on those ecosystems. That's where I spend most of my time. That's where I like doing stuff anyway. So we've had big pumps across the Base ecosystem for AI agent stuff. Okay. Coinbase X402 transactions up 10,000% as AI agents go live. Absolutely pumping the living heck out of Virtuals. Virtuals is back, baby. Breaking a major downtrend here, by the way, okay? It's a pretty significant move on Virtuals here. I think that should be definitely noted here. So it's up 100% since Friday. Absolutely epically big move here for all the Base ecosystem. Well, not all the Base ecosystem AI agents, but the big ones, right? And this, of course, the big protocol for Base AI agents. Now, any retest of this downtrend line around $1.12 approximately, that would be a bullish retest area, or a retest of the 20-day EMA, which is curving up pretty hard right now. So those would be two areas to look if you missed this initial pump and you're feeling that like crazy FOMO. Watch for some retests. You always get retests. Well, you always get retests, but not always at the levels you want. But after something pumps 100% in a day, I'm less likely to want to run in and buy it personally. AIXBT also seeing a big move here. Of course, this is the big daddy of Base AI agents. So up 100% as well. Huge volume spike. You can see here, big spike in the volume. Showing a lot of traders piling into this thing. Went down to a penny. Now it's back up 10 cents, up 1,000% from the lows. Of course, hard to call that an actual lows on Binance, especially because, let's just say it's up 100% from the actual lows of where the price established kind of a reasonable bottom area at. Even from here, pumps back previous all-time highs. That's a 10x from the current price. Not saying that's going to happen, but this is kind of the big daddy of AI agent coins. Perhaps one to watch out for, especially with the chart looking like this. Retaking the key EMAs, and zoom in there a little bit for you so you can see that a bit better. Retaking the key EMAs, the 20-day, the 50-day, and this downtrend line right here. Again, 20-day EMA retests are probably second best opportunities to get positioned on it. Okay. Real quick, we're going to take a quick look at a couple equities, and then we're going to jump into your questions. So this is Cold-Blooded Shilla shouting out some crypto equities. Says crypto stocks continue to act very independently to the coins, along with all the increased hyper-aggressive going, unreasonable strikes going on with option flow this week is something brewing. You can see huge moves across the board for crypto equity stocks. I do own some of those like Galaxy and Coinbase, for example, but got a little bit like $100 of Irene Energy just so it's like on my tracking list. Bought some Marathon, bought some Clean Spark. Actually, I've had Marathon for ages. I didn't buy any more Marathon. I've had Marathon for ages. It's underperformed massively. I'm currently down like 20% on it. But gosh darn it. Come on, Marathon. Do something at some point, man. It'll do with something one day. Where's this question here? Josh says, Lark, is this pump something that I should slide a little bit of profit off being so late in the cycle, or am I just knee camming myself? Should I hold on until December? Not financial advice. Look, Never anything wrong with taking profits off. Nobody knows how things are going to play out. We could always have untold amounts of bullshit playing out over the next month. You don't know. We don't know, right? Sometimes it's nice to, especially if you got stressed out on the recent move down, that might be saying that, hey, you know what? Maybe I took a little bit too much risk. Maybe I got a little bit too much in the market here. Maybe if I take a little bit out, I'll feel a bit better and sleep a bit better at night. There's something to be said for the peace of mind, for sure. That being said, everything's lined up right now for markets to likely move higher. Doesn't mean they will, but the betting odds would say that they likely will. So let's see how it plays out over the next few days. But overall, I think the markets have a lot of room left to run. In fact, being late in the cycle in of itself, I don't feel like we are late in the cycle. And maybe these are my famous last words and all goes to zero and all that kind of stuff. I got to hydrate here real quick, guys. If you believe in the 4-year cycle theory, that just stubbornly, regardless of all other conditions, the business cycle, the credit cycles, the global M2, everything else, regardless, screw everything else. We just finish every 4 years. That's it. If you believe in that, then maybe you should be taking more money off the table in that situation, not financial advice, of course, but if you believe that's going to happen. I don't believe that's the case. I think crypto, especially now as we're getting more ETFized and more institutionalized, we are increasingly following, and because of what's on the screen right now, all these crypto-related stocks, increasingly crypto is following the equity markets. And everything that we're seeing in the equity markets right now, maybe the China deal doesn't go through, maybe Trump and Xi get into a fucking fist fight, and Scott Bessent comes in, punches somebody in the face. Yeah, who the heck knows, man? Crazy shit can happen. But if that doesn't happen, then we're almost in a Goldilocks-like situation where everything's just good. Financial conditions are loosening. The ISM PMI, which is a good indicator of how the business cycle is going, currently under 50. It may have gone over 50 this month. We don't have that data, I don't think, has come through. So likely we're going to get that soon. Once that starts expanding, it tops around 60 to 65 usually. And it usually takes about a year to get there. So that'd be the top of the business cycle. Look back at the business cycle, sort of the macro composite indexes and stuff like that, and see where Bitcoin and crypto's topped out before. It's topped out with the business cycle. Continuing. Yeah. This is an interesting one from JP Morgan, basically shilling Coinbase, saying that because of the coming Base token, it's going to add a potential lot of value to Base, and that the stock is likely to go up significantly in value. Of course, Wealth, USDC, and all the other kind of stuff they got going on. Basically, they're saying go long on coin, which I have a big bag of coins, actually my biggest equity position. Single position, right? Had a lot more back in the day. We'll see how it plays out. Had to sell some for taxes. Super annoying. Anyway, it is what it is. Thankfully, we're in Dubai now. It's crazy. My net worth should be like 2 to 3 times what it is without paying 40% of my income to New Zealand. It's okay. It's fine. Love New Zealand. Love you, New Zealand. But, you know, also, holy shit, a lot more upward mobility potential in Dubai. Anyway, this is what the Coinbase chart looks like. I am bullish on this chart. Look at this. We had a retest here of the previous all-time high in July. Ran up to 400 and some bucks. Ever since then, what did we do? We pulled back to the 20-week EMA, consolidated there. Okay, look at that. Consolidated right on the 20-week EMA for weeks. Bouncing off it again just this week. Now, when we break out to new highs, which we have not really done yet, okay, by a few dollars we did, but that doesn't count. But we actually break out to new all-time highs. Fib target 1, $680. Fib target 2, $1,080. Fib target 3, $1,500. Okay? Interesting. I'm still hoping to sell for $1,000, man. Sell for $1,000. Put it all into dividend stocks, baby. Rock and roll. Circle also looking like it could have a breakout. Now, as I've said before, Circle is probably wildly overvalued. I felt like it was overvalued at $60 IPO price. It was certainly overvalued at $300. Oh my gosh. But it doesn't really matter. Okay? Doesn't really matter. Because the market likes it. Korean markets are crazy about it. I could easily see this thing having a nice move at some point, especially if the charts looking the way they do. Potential breakout, but you got to wait until it really gets over about $150, $150. That could be the move that takes it up literally back up to previous all-time highs, potentially new highs. Doesn't deserve to do that, but I could see the chart-wise it doing that. Bullish MACD crossover potentially coming in the next few days. Something to keep an eye out for here as well. Okay, by the way, sign up for the free newsletter. It's awesome. Link down below. Right down here. Go check it out. Oh, yeah, I think it's thing off the... Lark, what do you have to say about Beam, Clearpool, Sidus, or Lumia? Gosh, that's a lot of different coins. Beam, I don't know, man. Avalanche coins have not got the kind of love they deserve. Gaming has been a lot less exciting recently. I think they're doing some AI related stuff as well. Maybe that's going to, move the needle for them. Let's see. Clearpool, real world asset. I don't know much about it as an RWA play. So I don't have a strong opinion on it, but let's say RWAs in general are pretty popular. Sidus, I know nothing about it, to be honest. And Lumia. Heck, they're doing RWAs now, aren't they? It's funny. I held a bag of Lumia. I can't remember what the hell it does now. So many altcoins, guys. So many altcoins. Let's have a look here. Lumia. This was, what the heck was this before? They rebranded. Anyway, let's have a look here. $10 million market cap. I'll put this on the screen for you guys. $10 million market cap. Trading volume is pretty rough right now. This is the all-time chart from the rebrand onwards. It, like a lot of altcoins, have been absolutely slaughtered this year, and it dropped 50%, of course, back in October, and has not really recovered since then. So a lot of, you can tell. Look, let's look at the last 3 months. Look at what happened here. A lot of coins, and we're not even getting fancy this, a lot of coins after this, look at like Pump, for example. It's moving back up pretty strong, right? Quite a few coins are like that. This, no one's bidding it, man. No one's bidding it. I wouldn't buy it again, personally. Maybe something big changes, but what do you think about Meteora? I have a bag because of Jupiter staking. I got a free bag. I put it in the staking pool. It's chilling there. Let's see if it makes some nice fees for me over time. But look, I think there was a lot of bullshit that happened with Meteora in particular that soured the market on, let's say, Meteora and maybe Jupiter as well. But I think it could do pretty well. I'm not sure what the use case of the token is. I just got airdropped. It's like, oh, free money. Great. Cool. But depending on the use case of the token, might be worth taking a look at, considering current price valuations for it. Clanker is manipulating the token supply. No way there's that many holders of it. Pump still, dude, I'm telling you, Charles, I completely agree. Pump is wildly undervalued at the current prices. The buybacks, the users, the daily revenue. I don't get it. It should be. How the hell is Cardano worth more than this thing? I have no idea. Tesla and Nvidia are my AI plays. Looking at Google and ADIFs. Big cap stuff, man. Big cap stuff. It's you don't get the wild gains on those anymore. But I mean, I guess Tesla's up 100% since the crash. But you don't get the kind of crazy gains in that stuff anymore. But they're good long term. If you're holding it for 10, 20 years, like, yeah, why not? Why not? I actually bought some more Tesla the other day. So yeah. How do you get involved in airdrops, Marty? That is an incredibly big and complicated question. There's no simple answer. There are a lot of ways to get airdrops. Okay. For example, I was staking my Jupiter tokens, and because I was staking those tokens, I got an airdrop. Sometimes you get airdrops just for staking stuff. It's pretty cool. Sometimes there's a lot of, for example, perpetual swap decentralized exchanges like Hyperliquid, which you can still farm points on and get next season airdrop, or Lighter, or Avantis or Pacifica or like one of the other 30 ones, right? There's a lot of those. Okay. You can go and farm points and do trading and get an airdrop that's hopefully worth more than you spend on fees. So there's that as well. There's a lot of other ways to get airdrops, sometimes by holding NFTs and on and on and on. There's a lot, and it's too much to go over. And even just, I don't know, we've made videos on before, but there's a lot to it. Now, we actually cover, by the way, airdrops and airdrop strategies every single week in the newsletter. By the way, it's awesome. Go check it out. It's free down below. Link, go check it out. But seriously, there's a lot to be made there, okay? This guy says, stay away from airdrops, not worth the time or energy. I disagree. They benefit people with big money, sadly. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. See, people, here's the trick with airdrops. Most people don't pay attention to airdrops when airdrops are hot. And that's kind of usually a losing strategy. If you want to make money with airdrops, like take Lighter, for example. I didn't farm Lighter. I didn't farm Harbor Liquid either. Okay. I've just haven't had time for farming airdrops. You got to have a bit of free time. If you have free time, holy shit, go farm airdrops. It's one of the most asymmetric opportunities in the cryptocurrency market. If you have extra time on your hands and not a lot of capital. Okay. You could have been farming Lighter back in the first weeks of it deploying in the market and got thousands of points, which are going to be worth tens of thousands of dollars. You tell me that's not worth your time? Of course, that's worth your fucking time. There's those kind of opportunities in the market right now. In fact, okay, just last week, we gave a guide on the 10 perpetual swap DEX point systems to farm in the newsletter. Link down below. Okay, left newsletter show. But seriously, we're sharing this kind of stuff all the time. And there are a lot of opportunities to make money in airdrops. It's just that not all airdrops are created equal. And a lot of them have sucked terribly. It's mostly the projects farming you and not the other way around. So you have to keep that in mind too. The best way I've found to get airdrops and the way that I've made the absolute most amount of money in airdrops is just by being curious, to be honest. Just go out and test things, try out apps, be on chain, do stuff. That's how I got my best airdrops over time. Is there going to be a final push into Q4? Yes or no? I believe yes. And I'm not sure it's the final push. I think there's going to be a push into Q4, and it will not be the final push. Most airdrops, that's true. And this is why a lot of people got pessimistic on airdrops, that there's still good airdrops out there. There's still airdrops to make money. And yet you have to look at airdrops as like a, I don't want to say a lottery ticket, but you have to take the right mindset with it, where you have to say, okay, out of 10 airdrops, 8 of them are probably going to absolutely suck. And I'm going to get like a few bucks. Like I remember, was it Polyhedra or something like that? It was like a bridge. And they gave such an utter, and I put a lot of volume through that bridge, right? They gave such an utterly pathetic airdrop. It's like $20. And they gave it to you on Ethereum. Accounting for the gas fees, it wasn't even worth it to claim it. That's what a shitty airdrop it was. So there's that, okay? Yes, a lot of airdrops just do farm the farmers, okay? So yeah, I agree. But there's those 2 in 10, maybe sometimes just 1 in 10, that end up being a hyper liquid like asymmetric bet where all you had to do is make a few fucking trades and you got $100,000. I don't care who you are, okay? Unless you're fucking Elon Musk, $100,000 means a lot of money to a lot of fucking people, okay? That's the average salary of like a white collar worker in a lot of places. Jeez, for a fucking airdrop, for trading a few times at a decentralized exchange. Yeah, airdrops are worth it, but you have to just take the right approach and be consistent in engaging and doing stuff and finding ones that you think are the most asymmetric bets to the upside. You can tell to some extent how the founders and stuff in the community are behaving and what the kind of vibe is. Are people using it because they actually want to use it or just because they're trying to farm it, and so on and so forth. I catch up in this chat here, man. Airdrops are like tequila girls in the nightclub. Every now and then you strike hot. Lark's right. That will not be the final push. Everyone thinks it will be the last push because of the 4-year cycle, right? Everyone's like, gotta sell in Q4. I think we have a great pump in Q4. Everything's lining up. Maybe I'm wrong. Screw it, be wrong again. Why not? That's life. But I think a lot of stuff's lining up for potentially really good pump into November, December, maybe running well into January. We'll see how it goes, okay? And it'll be a big enough pullback afterwards to convince everybody that it's over. But macro conditions, unless macro conditions change, which they might, but unless macro conditions change, then it won't be over. Right? That's why I looked at this recent crash when we were testing the weekly supports and stuff like that in the EMA. It's like, guys, well, it's always scary on the support retest because if you lose support, oh boy, a lot of downward, goes real far down, doesn't it? But don't get bearish at retests. And like I said at the time, the macro doesn't support being mega bearish right now. Still doesn't. Same, true last week, true this week. XLM instead of XRP. What about neither of them? Find something that's even better stablecoin protocol. I know XLM is not just a stablecoin protocol, but I don't know, Stellar Lumens, man. Gosh, there's so many things out there that are just feel like way better bets than Stellar Lumens, personally. Probably going to go absolutely nuts. I mean, everyone's pumping Zcash, Dino coins. People love Dino coins, so I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. Welcome to another episode of Buy Quality and Wait. Yeah. Thoughts on getting into the AACI stock for a play on the new XRP DAT Evernorth? I have no idea what AACI is. Is that like, is it going to be a SPAC? Is that what's going on here? They're SPACing it, and that's going to be the look. Here's the deal. Oh, by the way, just randomly, I saw that Strive, ASST, the company, they're another digital asset, a Bitcoin treasury company. Apparently, they've acquired Semler Scientific. It happened like 2 weeks ago. I was like, damn, they bought out Semler. That's crazy. Anyway, interesting. Look, in terms of digital asset treasury companies, the market is flooded with them. And I think there's very few decent ones. Very few. I know nothing about Evernorth or what their backing is or any of that kind of stuff. I have no idea, okay? But the reality is that the majority of these digital asset treasury companies are gonna struggle, okay? Now, for XRP, it's a big coin, it's a popular coin. Maybe it does really well. We've got a couple ETH treasury companies that are doing, I would say, relatively well. Bitmine and SharpLink, even though SharpLink's price is down quite a bit. But I think those two have good potential, right? On the Bitcoin side, you've got a few really big ones, not just strategy, but I got a few big other ones as well. So those have the potential as well to do well on the rebound, okay, when people start flooding money back into those. But the majority of these digital asset treasury companies, man, they're going to absolutely struggle. So yes, they are a SPAC. There you go. Any update or opinion on World Liberty Fi? It's going to get crimed up at some point. Disgustingly, I know it. I know it. You cannot let the Trumps just... The Trumps in crypto are here to extract billions, and that's exactly what they're doing, whether it be Trump coin, Melania coin, World Liberty Fi, whatever. They're extracting, man. It's max extract on their side. And it's fine. It's what happens in crypto. They're allowed to come in and just fill their buckets up, I guess. But I reckon at some point they are going to just crime the living shit out of that coin, and it's going to go wildly high. But that's the problem. Some people expect that could happen, and then they just keep getting it not happening, let's say. Not into it. Not buying. Not buying. I'm staying out of World Liberty Fi. I feel like so much going on in crypto. I don't need to be in anything that Trump's got his name on. There you go. Let's put it that way. I'm up 10x on Zcash. Let's effing go. Boom. Love to hear it, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. Debating rolling into an asset of mine that hasn't moved as much, such as Link. Do you think it'd be foolish with the current strength of Zcash? Look, sometimes you just got to ride your winners, right? I don't know how big your position is, right? Maybe you've got a really big position in Zcash. If you really, so you've got your Link position already. I think Link's good. I mean, look, Chainlink does a lot more than Zcash. Neither of them really share revenue with people. I know there's link staking, which is very, very difficult to get into, but okay, yeah. Anyway, besides the point. Look, neither of them really capture a lot of value for just holding them. Let's put it that way, okay? There's no buybacks. There's no dividends. Again, there's link staking, but it's very hard to get into. So you just kind of hold them and hope the price goes up. Chainlink, it's got a much higher market cap than Zcash. So it's got a lot more, let's say, let me just have a look here and tell you what the market cap of these two is. Zcash is $6 billion. It's crazy stuff, $350, man. Wild. Should have bought when Naval started pumping it, man. What was I thinking? Naval Ravikant's out here pumping Zcash. And I was like, yeah, but he's like a seed investor. He's got like 3% of the supply, whatever, bullshit. Yeah. Overthought it, Lark. Mid-curved it. You mid-curved it, Lark. Chainlink is 12 billion. So it's about half the market cap of Zcash. Where Zcash is half the market cap of Chainlink. Look, I think they're both really interesting, but here's the thing. Zcash right now has got massive attention on social media. There's nothing wrong with taking some money off the table, okay? Nothing wrong with that. Especially if you say, hey, you know what, Zcash is up a lot. Maybe I want to take a third of my position off, put it into Chainlink or something like that. Remember to pay your taxes on that, by the way. But yeah, hard to say, man. Hard to say. Chainlink does definitely not getting the love right now. It's not getting the attention that it should, considering how fundamental tech is to everything. People are going crazy for Zcash right now. So sometimes it pays just to let your winner run without thinking you need to move things around. I've made that mistake before where I go, okay, well, I'm going to, you know, be clever here and move it around to the beta play, or some other asset hasn't moved as much. Sometimes just got to let your winners run. So, yeah. Least Lark is 1.5x speed. Let's have and go. Yeah. X402 projects are getting all-time high after all-time high. VPay, Wint, PayAI, Tibber, Virtual. Any opinion? We talked about this stuff earlier. Definitely a lot of hype right now around the X402 updates, which allows the AI agents to be autonomously paying each other in crypto and stuff like that, which is cool. That's cool, man. I think it's probably a renaissance for virtuals, at least in the short term. I don't know to what extent that brings back AI agents, but definitely a lot of AI agents out there. That's the ones that have survived and were not total scam bullshit in the first place. The builders that stuck around probably going to benefit from that. Come to Thailand, Lark. Big Thailand fan. Big Thailand fan. Do you only pay taxes if you transfer back to fiat? Nope. Look, I don't know what country you live in. I don't know what your exact rules are in your country. But I'll tell you this, the vast majority of the time, anytime you sell something, it's a taxable event. Doesn't matter what you sell it for. So if you sell Zcash to buy Chainlink, you have to take profits on your Zcash in order to do that. So you are selling your Zcash. That means whatever profit you have from the Zcash you held, you have to pay tax on that. Okay? So you have to account for that. Now, by the way, for the vast majority of you listening, there will also be the thing, and this caught me out in 2022 with my pants down, and I got hit pretty hard on taxes for just stupid reasons. If you go from Ethereum to wrapped Ethereum, which is a one-to-one exchange equivalent, so you can use it in smart contracts, a lot of places are going to count that as a sale, because even though it's the exact same fucking asset, you have sold one to buy the other. Okay, so just FYI. Same with wrapped Bitcoin. If you sell your Bitcoin to buy wrapped Bitcoin, most places are going to count it as a sale. Oh my gosh, we better get out of here, guys. We're almost up 50 minutes. Peace. I appreciate you guys. You're awesome. We'll see you back here tomorrow for more good times. It's going to be a big week. Got a lot of stuff going on. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll see you then. Bye.